0.
Guess what? Apart from a backpack, guess what else I have with me? Yep, it's my little, well, my big three-legged friend, a tripod. 0. So, way over in the distance is Aylesbury Vale's one and only, as far as I know, wind turbine. It sticks out like a sore thumb really, I suppose, but it's massive. But I've tried a couple of exposures. Camera's on a tripod. I have a cable release on here now, sensibly. ISO, well, I've dropped the ISO right the way down. First of all I did it at 200. It was around about 30th f11. Now it's down to 1/8 of a second, but they're still not slow enough because the propeller blades are turning, but quite slowly obviously, but I wanted to get motion blur around it. Mind you, it's a long way away, so I'm not sure how effective it will be, but the lens is on 300mm, so we'll have a look. We'll see you later. So if this shows up, you can see, oops, zip, 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 just very slightly blurred, probably. Wow. This is the benefit of having a 28-300 lens with you as a general all-purpose lens, because the flexibility of going from a relative wide angle to a good telephoto is invaluable at times if you really want to capture shots, you know, on the off the cuff. And an example of this is, and I'll show the images obviously later, is that a guy on a horse way down the valley behind me was cantering along, and I quickly had to, because it's in the shadows and it's still quite early, I had to put the ISO up to 1600 to capture the motion, and I actually panned with the horse. So I was at 100 ISO before, and then I was able to zoom into 300mm at times, 200mm. If I'd been with the 24-70 zoom, I would have had to have changed lenses, and hence the advantage of this lens. This is why it always comes with me. Professionally, when I'm shooting weddings, I have two 610s with me, sometimes a little backup camera as well, and although two essentially is a backup, I suppose. One with a 24-70, one with a 14-24 on, or maybe a 105 macro or whatever. And then I can just swap cameras quickly and grab moments. And here behind me, there was a moment down in the valley there, as the horse cantered all the way along that ridge, but sadly mostly in shadow. But now as the sun's coming up, it's starting to light up the foreground a little bit, well, the background foreground that is. I found it often pays to look behind you when the sun's coming up or going down, because the shadows and what the light is doing on the subject behind you is often more interesting than the sunrise or sunset itself. So just have a good old look around, keep looking behind you. You may see amazing shadows formed by the sun, by the setting sun for example. And yeah, just have your eyes everywhere really. Actually it works better if you have one eye behind you, one eye in front, and then you can really keep an eye on things. If you're a Cyclops, well, and sadly you're a bit stuck there, but anyway, two eyes are better than one, I guess. Do you know, I'm going to be arrested one of these days. Someone's going to be walking their dog straight on the phone to the cops. There's a loony on the hill. Help! I love those shadows and what's happening behind me, as I was saying earlier. Much more happening behind me. Sun now just intense. Blue sky. Yeah, it's fantastic, better than the weather was forecast to be actually. Yeah. Hey, got some great shots yesterday evening with a friend of mine, a photographer friend of mine. We went over to see a murmuration. And a murmuration, a whole flock of thousands and thousands of starlings get together. And it was amazing. I'm going back to this location as well, which is an RSB PB bird watching area with wetlands. And it was fantastic. I've got some nice film as well of it, on the iPhone actually. But anyway, I might get a few more shots, we'll see what we can get, and then I'm heading back for breakfast. Yeah.
Earlier, it's the guy on the horse going past the cottage, and sometime later he comes back the other way, and I really wanted to catch him in a pool of sunlight below the hedge. Wasn't quite low enough, or high enough for the sun maybe. Anyway, while I was killing time shooting pictures around, I set the GoPro up, and this is how I recorded the time lapse. Then a guy comes walking along with two dogs, and I wait till he goes in between the shadows and catch him in the pool of sunlight. Monochrome works well here with the contrasty side lighting on the tree roots. I spot this robin, but I'm not close enough even with a 300mm lens, but I cropped in. Usually the birds I photograph are wearing long white dresses. Looks like the clouds that were forecast are heading my way. Over the period of about an hour I came back to this tree 4 times, and you can see how the sun is moving round, heading west and lighting this all up beautifully. So it's all about the light, composition and the timing.
All of a sudden it's got very, very cloudy, so time to head for home. See you later, folks.